think the hope might be that the two egos cancel each other out, or that they end up, you know, at one corner of the playground, you know, kind of dealing with each other rather than getting in, say, Donald Trump's hairs or in Susie Wiles' hairs, the new chief of staff. So there's a lot of laughter and amusement about the appointment of these two guys. But on the other hand, Elon Musk came in as the new Twitter owner and he got rid of about 80% of employees. So maybe this appointment really does mean that Donald Trump is serious about cutting the federal government. So after we've stopped laughing about Musk and Ramaswamy, taking cudgels to each other possibly, as well as to the federal government, maybe it's going to work.
Donald Trump is bringing billionaire Elon Musk into his government. The Tesla, Twitter and SpaceX boss has been appointed as joint head of the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Yes, that is a nod to cryptocurrency and Doge coins. I wish it wasn't, but it is. He'll be alongside another billionaire, Vivek Ramaswamy. They've been tasked with a massive job of cutting waste and inefficiency. I asked Sarah Baxter, the director of the Mary Colvin Centre for International Reporting, whether American civil servants might wake up this morning a little bit worried.
I think they were very, very scared and probably continue to be scared about the safety of their federal jobs, all paid for by the taxpayer, now that these two tech bros are in charge. But there's quite a lot of sniggering as well that the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, as it's known as a homage to the cryptocurrency meme, has two people at the top. How efficient is that?
That's such a good one. There's someone else has said to us also, Sarah, that they're not necessarily two shrinking violets or one shrinking violet and one dominant figure. There's the opportunity for a bit of ego here, isn't there not?
Yes, I think the hope might be that the two egos cancel each other out, or that they end up, at one corner of the playground, kind of dealing with each other rather than getting in, say, Donald Trump's hairs or in Susie Wiles' hairs, the new chief of staff. So there's a lot of laughter and amusement about the appointment of these two guys. But on the other hand, Elon Musk came in as the new Twitter owner and he got rid of about 80% of employees. So maybe this appointment really does mean that Donald Trump is serious about cutting the federal government. So after we've stopped laughing about Musk and Ramaswamy, taking cudgels to each other possibly, as well as to the federal government, maybe it's going to work. We actually don't know. They're definitely two men who think outside the box, and perhaps that's what Donald Trump has appointed them for, so they don't get sucked into the swamp.
Yeah, and there's a serious point here that you're making, Sarah, I think, which is that the more we hear about this new administration, the more it seems to differ from 2016, when he promised to drain the swamp and ultimately got mired in chaos and confusion. He does seem serious about getting stuff done, and going after government inefficiency might well be one example of that.
Well, Donald Trump has said that these guys are going to be in charge of the new Manhattan Project, which suggests that he really does have big ambitions for what they intend to do. And he's given Musk and Ramaswamy quite a tight timetable to do it as well. So I think he does mean business. I think he's really a man in a hurry now. He's only got 4 years. He's already done one term as president. This is his second term, or is going to be. He may well try and squeeze in a third. I wouldn't put it past him. But he knows that Father Time is not on his side either. He's 78. So I think Donald Trump really wants to get going. And honestly, by January 20th, when he is inaugurated, I think we're going to already have seen enormous change. You can feel America already kind of shifting. The power centers are changing. And Donald Trump is a man who likes to get his own way. And I think he's proving with his appointments that he really intends to do what he said on the tin.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting. Let's look at some of his other appointments, Sarah. Where do you want to start? The Middle East appointment. A property developer to go and be special envoy in the Middle East. What do we read into that?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Mike Huckabee as ambassador to Israel.
Well, let's talk about both. Let's talk about both of them because there's two appointments. There's a special envoy and an ambassador. What do we know about them?
On Mike Huckabee, he's the governor. He was the governor of Arkansas. A lot of listeners will know his daughter better, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who was Donald Trump's press spokesman. What's important to know is that he is a big evangelical Christian. And he has said things like he's not sure there is such a thing as a Palestinian, and that he regards the land of the West Bank to be Judea and Samaria.
Oh, which is Netanyahu's position.
Yes, so I think that's quite a radical perspective. On the other hand, I've met Mike Huckabee. He's a very genial fellow. He's a very nice guy, and I'm sure he'll get on with lots of parties. And I think he'll want to do a good job. I hope he doesn't bring all his ideas straight away to the table, but perhaps he will.
And do
I think
you get the sense, that's a really interesting point that, so do you get the sense that Trump has an ideology here if he were to say, I would support Netanyahu in going into the West Bank, which of course internationally is regarded as illegal occupation by the Israelis, that would shift an awful lot of the power balance in the region even further, wouldn't it? And if he's appointed someone who believes that, how far will Trump go, do you think, in the Middle East? We don't really know, do we, I suppose?
Well, Trump has competing interests in the Middle East. He's very proud of the Abraham Accords, which bypassed the Palestinians to forge a deal with other Middle Eastern countries. We know he gets on very well with the Saudis, and they're not at all happy with what's been going on in Gaza and are under pressure from their own people. So I think Donald Trump won't just give Netanyahu everything he wants, but by sending someone like Mike Huckabee as the ambassador, I think it's a really big goodwill gesture to Israel. And I think sending a Middle East peace envoy as well, that is a fellow real estate man and golfing partner, suggests that really Trump wants his own personal representatives out there who are willing to do his bidding.
That's Sarah Baxter there.
Take over, Elijah. Take over.
Donald Trump has kept his promise to offer billionaire Elon Musk a role in his administration. The president-elect said in a statement that Musk and former Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy will lead the newly created Department of Government Efficiency. He added the pair, quote, will pave the way for my administration to dismantle government bureaucracy, slash excess regulations, cut wasteful expenditures, and restructure federal agencies. The appointments reward two Trump supporters from the private sector. Musk, the world's richest person, leads electric car company Tesla, social media platform X, and rocket company SpaceX. He gave millions of dollars to support Trump's presidential run and often joined him on the campaign trail. The acronym of the new department, DOGE, coincides with the name of the cryptocurrency Dogecoin that Musk promotes. In a social media post about the new department, he said, quote, threat to democracy? Nope, threat to bureaucracy. Ramaswamy is the founder of a pharmaceutical company who threw his support behind Trump after dropping out of the race himself. Trump said the pair's work would conclude by July 4th, 2026, and that a smaller and more efficient government would be a gift to the country on its 250th anniversary.
Radcliffe, if you would rise and raise your right hand.
Trump on Tuesday also picked former top U.S. spy and close ally John Ratcliffe to serve as CIA director. After his stint as the director of national intelligence at the end of Trump's first term, Ratcliffe went on to co-chair a think tank advocating Trump positions. He also advised on national security policy during Trump's 2024 presidential campaign. The president-elect also nominated South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem to head the Department of Homeland Security. She is a staunch ally who has taken a hardline stance on illegal immigration, but has little national security experience. Trump tapped Fox News commentator Pete Hegseth to be his Secretary of Defense. The veteran has expressed disdain for the so-called woke policies of Pentagon leaders. He could make good on Trump's promises to rid the military of generals who he accuses of pursuing progressive policies on diversity in the ranks.